Alright, happy Monday, 5th graders. Today what we are going to do is we are going to kind of move forward with Black History Month. If you remember, we celebrate Black History Month in February. Now February is almost over. This is the last week of February. So, you might not hear very much about Black History Month after this week, just because starting next week is March. And so, I don't want to get to the point where, we talk about Black history and why it's important and all the different people that were very important in Black History Month and then be done. Okay? I think it is very important that we learn how to celebrate these people and these events and the history all year long. Okay? And so what we're going to do is think about something that we can continue to do all year long. Maybe in the summertime, maybe next fall when you're in 6th grade, maybe even this spring when you're still in 5th grade. Okay? So, there's just a few things that I post here. There's some links that you can go ahead and look at. There's only 4 different things that I posted here. There's many, hundreds of things that you can do. Some other things that I will talk about, the things that I have here on the slide, but a few other things that you can do is you can go and visit a Black-owned restaurant. You can go and you can find out more from somebody who was a part of Black history. For instance, Mr. Perry, who works in our school. He has a pretty cool story, I believe, about his dad. Maybe his grandpa. I'm not 100% sure, but he's got some great stories. So there's a lot of things that you can do, but I do want to talk about 4 of them today. Okay? So, first thing that you can do is you can read about an influential Black hero. Okay? You can always go to the library. In our library at school, the library that we do have in 5th grade, you have not seen it yet. You can also go to the library that's in your neighborhood. There's a lot of really nice libraries over in St. Paul that do a really good job telling very important stories. Okay? One link that I have here, this is a series you've probably seen before, Who Was, right? And it's different people, kind of explaining who these people were. Some of them are who was. So like this one is Juliette Gordon Low, who was, because this woman has passed away. Some of them are who is, like Neil deGrasse Tyson. He is still alive, and so it kind of depends on what the title of the book is. But these are books that do a very good job of explaining about very important people, and I think they do it in a very fun way. Okay, and there's a lot of people here that you can look up, like RuPaul. He is somebody who is important for Black history, still alive, a good story. Same with Neil deGrasse Tyson. You can find these books in the library. You can find these books, like here's a website, but you can always find them at bookstores if you're thinking that you maybe want to buy a couple. I understand that, buying a lot of books can sometimes get expensive, so I will say that they are at libraries too. Okay? A fun thing as well. So there's kind of a link there to look at some of these books. Another fun thing here is this is Netflix. Okay, so the people who created these books also made a Netflix show. You can watch that as well. Same thing, they have some really cool stories about some very important people from history, including some very influential Black heroes. Okay, so it's something that you can do. Just read a little bit more about these people. Okay. Another thing that you can do is you can visit the Minnesota Historical Museum. That is here in St. Paul. It's kind of by downtown, kind of by the Capitol building. You've probably seen it before. It's a really cool building, has a lot of really cool history. The museum is open, even with coronavirus. So you can go ahead and you can visit. One thing that I have a link here for, a little link here that just kind of talks more about Black history, especially in Minnesota. So there's a video there. There's some events too. You can look up if there's anything on here that sounds interesting. Otherwise, you can always go right to the regular website and schedule a day that you could go with your family, and it's very fun. There's a lot of really cool things to do, and it's not always about Black history. There will be things about Black history, but there's also a lot of extra cool things about Minnesota and our history. Okay, so that's another thing that you can do. You can visit the Minnesota Historical Museum. Okay. All right, support a local Black artist. So I thought this is one that would be kind of interesting to look at. There are a lot of artists here in the Twin Cities, so in Minneapolis and St. Paul, that are very good and We'll take a look at some of them here. So here's a list of black artists in the Twin Cities and how you can kind of support them and to make sure that they are able to continue to do the job that they do. Okay, so as you go down here, you can kind of see there's a couple different people, like Brianna Lawrence, the first one. You can read that there. Some that do like very cool, like this is not like your normal art that you'd think, right? This is very much like sci-fi. There's some that you can see if we scroll down a little bit more. Here's some that are more like traditional. You would see like for like art. This person also works with comic books as well. So you can see like here's one that this is something that you could definitely see on in like an anime, but more so like a comic book. So you can kind of take a look there and see if there's anything that you can do to support those artists. That's another thing that you can do throughout the entire year. There's a lot of art shows in the summertime when it's nice outside. So it's something that you and your family can go and do. Something that's exciting. Okay, and the last thing that I have for you today, another thing that you can do at any time during Black History Month, during any day of the year, any season, you can always watch a movie. Okay, so I put 3 movies here. 3 trailers, okay, of movies that I have seen that I really like. One is Hidden Figures. This one is from 2016. It's based on a book that tells the story of going to the moon and some of the people that were behind it, the scientists who created the idea and how to make it work. And they were 3 or 4 black women, and it tells their story, when really, for a long time, their stories were not told. Okay, so a really good movie. There's the trailer there on YouTube. Every once in a while it jumps on to like Netflix or Hulu, and so you can always give that a try if you watch the teaser trailer and you like it. Okay. Next one is Remember the Titans. This is one that I used to watch growing up. Oops. It is a football movie, and so if you're somebody who doesn't really understand football, it's okay. It's not just about football, but obviously it is about a football team. It's about a high school football team. It's from Disney. I want to say that it came out in the early 2000s, but it was one of my favorite movies growing up, and I still really enjoy it today. It's really good. It is about a coach who is coaching a football team, and it's a newly, it's a high school that just ended segregation, and so this is their football team, and it's the first time that they have white and black players on the same team, and there's a lot of fighting. They don't like each other in the beginning, and then they start getting along, and you just have to watch it and see how it goes from there. But it's really good. It's won a lot of awards, as has Hidden Figures. They both won a lot of awards. But another trailer for you to check out. And I believe Remember the Titans is on Disney Plus, if you have Disney Plus. Okay. And the last one here, this is a film from Beyonce. You recognize her. She's a singer. She also created this movie here called Black is King, and that is on Disney Plus. You can watch the trailer there. It's very good. And yeah, so those are the movies that I guess I could recommend for you. There's no shortage. There's thousands of movies that you can watch. They're all about Black history and about being black in America. So if you want to take a look at one of those, absolutely. Now what I'm asking you to do is think about the things that I have put on here, the options for you. Okay, 4 different options. I want you to think about one that you think that you could definitely do before summer break. Okay? I want you to think about one of these 4 things, one that you can do before summer break. So right now it's February, so it'll be March, then we have April, then May, and then a couple weeks in June. So we have quite a bit of time. I want you to pick one of these 4 things that you'd like to do, and I want you to put it here. Okay? For me, one thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to visit. So I am going to visit the, not Minnesota, Minnesota Historical Museum. Okay, that's the thing that I'm going to do. I enjoy history, obviously. As your social studies teacher, I do enjoy history. And it is a fun thing to do, and it is, kind of a nice way to get out of the house when we're all stuck here right now with coronavirus. So that is the thing that I would like to do. I want you to choose which one of these 4 you would like to do. And if you're not sure about I don't really know which movie or these 3 movies are not really for me, you can see if you can find another one, and all you have to do is say, I am going to watch a movie about Black history. Okay, but it doesn't have to be one of these three necessarily. I can always help you find another one too. But I am not going to check in with you. I might check in with you just to see how we did later in the year, but I'm not going to make sure that this is done. Okay, it's important. Black history is important, right? But the biggest thing that we can do is to make the choice to continue to make sure that this history lives on. Okay? If we decide that, you know what, I don't really care too much about Black history and I don't really need to know about it, so I'm not even going to try. Well, then it dies out. If we don't remember about Black history, then nobody's going to remember in the future, right? And so it's up to us to do as many things as we can all year around to make sure that all of our histories, including Black history, is continued to the people that come after us in life. Okay? Same thing with like my family. I want to make sure that when I have kids and they have kids that I tell them about my family history, because if I don't, it's going to be forgotten. Same thing with this Black history here. Okay? It's our job to continue to learn as much as we can about these people and these events in this history so we can pass it on so that it lives on. Okay? So, if you have any questions, office hours at 10:05. I will be there. Otherwise, I will see you at our Google Meet times.